Was once a creature with an impenetrable shell, the toughest material that ever existed. No weapon, blunt force or magic could hurt it. Everyone desired a piece of it, but it would never give to anyone. This is why the whole world was its enemy, eternally, as they would try to obtain a piece in any way they could. They wanted to either study it, turn it into a weapon or armour to be used in any kind of warfare. Others just envied it. The creature was powerful and indomitable, and all were afraid of its might. They believed that, as it had the power to have anything it wanted, it needed nothing else from life. But this was not true. Like any other being, as powerful as it was, it wanted to feel love, warmth and joy. It needed others close to him, who would not only care about what it had to give them, but what they could offer to it. Yet nobody wanted such a hideous creature in their life. They shunned it. Even if they knew that it was kind on the inside, they still spurned it. Until the creature itself came to believe that nobody would ever care for it. It bore its suffering and wounds, both literal and metaphorical, and expressed them in its unusual appearance and behavior. Nobody cared about anything other than this image. They only saw its demeanor, not its nature. All they ever cared about was a piece of its shell. But no matter how they tried to get one, violence, cheating, or manipulation, they never could. Still, the Varmint wanted to give, even if it got nothing in return. But the more it used its heart, the more heartless it became. It did everything it could to make life better, offering its help selflessly, as long as a piece of its shell was never involved. It did not want to lose the morals, values, and ideals it had forged from its own life. Regardless of its daily adversities, it remained a benign and benevolent creature. Indignation would lead into a rage to which it did not want to surrender, even if it would have made its life simpler. As with every creature, it wanted to be happy and carefree, to live in a world that was ideal. As it was not a sin for everyone else, why should it be a sin for it? It searched for other creatures that would appreciate it, not for what it had to give to them, but for who it was. In leaps and bounds, it passed through every kingdom, city, village, lake, and forest. It crossed over plains, seas, mountains, the main centers, and every nook and cranny of every world to find such a creature. Its obsession overwhelmed it. It gave up, but was overtaken by obsession again. It flew until its wings bled, then walked, then began to crawl. This was the first time that it did not seem that it was immortal. All those who had been lurking for such a moment of weakness seized this chance. They imprisoned it. It did not resist. It continued its life in the prison, with no concerns. It could easily break its bonds, but its moment of weakness had withered its mind and soul, and it remained there, with no desire to escape. However, everything would change with a serendipitous meeting. Many would come to talk to it, all aiming to take advantage of its shell. Every conversation would lead to someone trying to convince it to give them a piece, as they believed that they would put it to better use. No threat or manipulation ever worked. It would stand silent and indifferent, caring for nothing. More prisoners would come into his cell. Even though some tried to sympathize, none would empathize, none would understand. As soon as they discovered what his shell was made of, they only wanted a piece of it, so they could escape. It endured the torment. The other prisoners did not, and they died in this prison. Hanging upside down, entrenched, it no longer cared about what was normal and what was not. Everything changed with a serendipitous meeting with a nymph. She was brought to the prison. She seemed as special as someone can be. Wherever she came from, her appearance was otherworldly, as a reminiscence of all that is sublime in this world, and certainly everywhere else. Her smile was innate, without the slightest cue of hypocrisy, and her company could only bring her own. Her aura revitalized you and soothed you simultaneously. The symmetry at her face and silhouette provoked your attention, at every single part on her, individually and as a whole. She was the personification of propitiousness herself. She talked to the creature.
How are you?
What do you mean? What do you mean, how am I?
Calm down. I am only asking. Are you okay?
It is the first time I have been asked such a question. Everybody asks why my appearance is so abnormal. why I am so gruesome, and the conversation always leads to my shell. It is the first time anyone has ever asked about me.
Your story is plaintive. You should not be judged according to your appearance. You must have been through a lot. I understand.
She understood him. She told him exactly what he wanted to hear. He had never known that this feeling existed. Someone cared.
Everyone thinks about what they can take from me, and nobody ever thinks of what they can give. I can give you only what I can offer. You are the first person in my miserable life that is worth it. You have made it better already.
I don't understand what you're saying.
It hid itself and broke off a piece of its shell.
Here, take a piece of my body.
What for?
It put the piece down.
You have to calm down and stop thinking.
How is this possible?
And she kissed it.
That feeling was fundamental. The most breathtaking moment of my life. I felt otherworldly feelings. Nothing else existed. No concern, no distress, no gloominess. Just your lips, the masterpiece of all creation. Nothing else existed in reality apart from what I felt in that moment, and the conviction that heaven was real. There was no pain. It did not matter. Such a being gives life, strength, and hope that the world can be better. There is a reason to ameliorate her own world, because she lives in it. I found a reason to live. I have to help you escape. But you must not know that I am behind everything good that will ever happen to you. I have to give and never take anything in return. I will never be able to reciprocate everything that you have done for me, but I have to live for you, fight for you, kill for you, die for you to achieve such a cause.
Whilst she was sleeping, he broke her chains and hid the broken piece in a concealed compartment in her chest. She woke up.
I broke your chains.
No, you did not. If you could, you would break yours as well.
He smiled.
Yes, they broke themselves.
He could have easily proved it to her. He could have broken his own chains as well. He could have shown all his might and why his shell was so coveted. But he preferred to ask for a simple embrace. And she gave it to him.
I felt her skin. It filled my life. I felt her touch. It flowed through my soul. I closed my eyes and I pondered her glance. I felt her chest and I listened to her heart. I felt vulnerable and safe. What I am feeling right now, I never wanted to end.
And it kept going.
Don't leave. Don't ever leave.
That's not possible.
I have the strength to hold you in my embrace forever.
Will you do it though?
No, it has to be mutual. You must want this as well.
Would this splendid emotional feast end? He thought as she parted.
In this prison I rot. I stand still, yet I've been through a lot. My soul is weaved, my path is forged. The chains shatter, the iron is scorched. My mission's chosen, I regret my distraction. I am the architect of my own destruction. My heart is silent, she brought you Noia. A single word rejuvenates my pulse, her name, Evmenia.
More prisoners kept coming and kept dying. Nobody else could escape. The creature did not know what occurred in the outside world, or if it still existed. It lived an incessant routine, not sure whether it was alive or dead. Not knowing whether years or ages had passed, it kept reminiscing until it knew what it had to do. Once upon a time, before it acquired its strength and the curse that came with it, it was a creature just like anyone else, without his shell being the object of covetousness and doom. Everything changed when he met this special someone, the Nymph. He met her when he was at his weakest, with no power or might, nothing to offer to her, and she still treated him in the best way possible. She made him happy. He was just another creature. This made him feel alive, safe and vulnerable at the same time. The most mesmerizing feeling there is. He knew what he wanted. All that he needed was to touch once more the masterpiece of all creation, that most beautiful spot, and feel the sensation that would rejuvenate his pulse, mind, body and soul, her lips.
She needed me in here, as I was her only choice. But out there, she will see that I am broken, the creature that I am. She will shun me. She will have others in her life, and she will not need me. My obsession will overtake me, and I will not be able to stop. I will lose control.
He was in constant contradiction with himself, not knowing which part of him, or it, will prevail.
I vow that I will not abuse my godly powers. I will not break any moral barriers. I will not hurt anyone other than myself. I will move heaven and earth until I achieve my cause.
As time went by, it grew stronger, physically and mentally. He used his chains and anything else around him to build his strength, until he grew strong enough to resume his cause perennially.
Now I have to break my chains. But when she looks at me again, she must not see my shell, that object of covetousness. She must see what I am from the inside.
He started striking himself. It felt as if heaven and earth started moving. He lost all sense of time. Every piece of his shell shattered and the piece fell to the floor, along with his chains. His roar, along with his strength, wreaked destruction on everything around him. The prison was buried, and he flew away, knowing exactly where he was going and what he wanted. He watched her from a distance, but never approached her. He preferred to give to her without being in her life. Now that his invulnerability was gone, without his shell, he believed he had nothing to offer. Therefore, he cultivated his mind. He schemed and came up with elaborate plans to ameliorate her life in any way possible. He made sure that she had gold, something everybody wanted, without her knowing that he was behind it. He found the best possible people to send into her life. He protected her without her knowing. Anything to make her life conventionally better. Eventually, he decided that he had nothing left to offer. He left, so he could live his own life. He stayed away from her, looking for others that would give him only what she had, true affection. However, even without his shell, he remained a peculiar creature. Even without his external injuries, he remained wounded inside. He was scarred by the adversities of his life. Though he was full of kindness, he could not express it, and nobody wanted or cared to see it. As he was companionless, estranged, and alienated, his shell grew back. He became indestructible, ruthless, and fearsome once more, and continued his life in solitude, until it decided once more.
I must have what only she can offer.
He began searching for the only one ever that appreciated him, not for what he had to offer, but for who he was. He passed through every kingdom, city, village, lake, and forest. He crossed over plains, seas, and mountains, the main centers and every nook and cranny of every world, to find the nymph. His obsession overwhelmed him. He surrendered to it, and it overtook him once more. He flew until his wings bled, and then walked, and then began to crawl. He knew that she was alive. He could sense her. His soul was revived and gave him power. He learned every language, so he could describe her. He continued his sempiternal quest. He grasped at every straw, exhausting all possibilities to find the answer he was looking for, until, inevitably, he was consulted by a witch.
This description does not suffice.
This is how I see her.
It is still not enough to tell you if I have ever seen her. Does such a creature even exist?
She does for me.
Tell me, how do you feel about her?
As long as she prospers, my exuberance intensifies. Her touch rejuvenates my soul.
You have passion, but start thinking another way. Where did you meet?
Our meeting was contrived by fate, so everything good I have ever done can be reciprocated, and everything bad that has ever happened to me can be rectified.
But you must have met her somewhere.
A prison.
How did she escape?
I set her free.
How did she pay you back?
She doesn't know.
Why are you doing this to yourself?
Because I care about her well-being, without caring about my own.
Nobody does that.
I do, and it makes me content.
That does not mean that you're good. And it does not mean that she's good either.
How dare you?
She was imprisoned. Therefore, she was fulfilling a debt. And according to your description, I might know where she is.
Tell me!
There is an island, shrouded from sight. It is the home of a godly possession that everyone aims to make their own. A force of mighty soldiers guards it, but no force is unstoppable. They have another way to keep it safe. The most delightful creatures in all the kingdoms are gathered, chosen by the gods themselves. They are the living embodiments of joy, beauty, and good values. A glance from them soothes anyone's heart. Nobody will want to hurt them.
She is there, I know it. Tell me where this place is.
Pay me more.
Take my gold, all of it.
You know exactly what I want.
You always demand gold.
But you have something more valuable to give. I know exactly what you are.
You have never done such a deal before.
But I shall do so with you. I want a piece of you.
No!
Then you will never know where she is. You need me.
I don't need anyone. I will find her myself.
And what makes you think that when you find her, you will have a life together? Could she ever want a creature such as you in her life?
Life made me this way.
She will not care. She will shun you, like everyone, always.
But I will find her, and I will tell her how I feel. I will achieve everything once again as I always have. Alone.
He left. He kept looking for her. His passion was incessant, relentless, unabated, and stronger than ever. He did not know how long he had been looking, but he kept searching. He went to every island there is, to every corner of the world, until he found the most hidden place, a place never recorded on any map. This was the place. He wrote down everything he wanted to enunciate.
I believed that you had everything. All you ever want and all you ever need. I was gazing at you from a distance, with others that I believe adored you as well, and would give anything to have nothing but your company. That you were advancing every day towards your idea of heaven. Therefore, I believed that I had no place in your ideal life, and I moved on with mine. I toiled over everything to achieve what people consider praiseful and creditable. I actually made it. I achieved admirable feats. What is considered an ideal life if for the necessities to be fulfilled exactly when you want them? To have a lot to offer without even trying, so everyone has a reason to want you in their life. Isn't this what we all want to achieve? But as I struggled to make myself important, I neglected what is really important. Is it really happiness to ponder upon what I have built and praise myself? Nothing that I have ever done can be compared to what only you can give. To want what I have. What you were giving me every time I was with you is the will to have my own life. The conviction that nothing is unfair because the supreme goal is to have mutual moments of happiness with you that we can live eternally. To know that what I live with you are the right actions, in the right place, with the right being, and that is a reward by itself. Any moment I spend away from you, I know I live close to you, and the concerns fade away, along with displeasure. The happiness stays, and time is irrelevant. Every moment with you is a reward for anything good that I have ever done that has led to you. Your touch, your caress, your kiss, these things make up for everything bad that has ever happened. Nothing else concerns me. I am happy when I am close to you, to a point that I do not care what I have and what I want, as the connection with you is perennial and supreme happiness. I am thankful simply that I exist, and what I want for you is to feel the same for yourself. You have already given this feeling to me many times, and I want to never stop offering it to you. What cannot be bought with riches and materialistic goods? What no one can give? I love you, the genuine love that you can give without asking for anything in return. The sort of love that means you can never let the other person get hurt, and you can always bring a smile to her lips. I can never get your company and touch fulfill me, and no matter how much I have struggled, I never get what only you can give, what your kiss on the lips has given that has overwhelmed me. It has overrun my body and fulfilled my soul. Has your life changed utterly? When I thought, even for a moment, that there could be a chance that I could be in your life in any way, I knew that every word, thought, and action should be exclusively for this, so the lunacy, the insanity in my mind guide me to show my true self and everything that is real, and guide toward that moment, because I know exactly what I want. Just because you exist, I have found the definition of love. Because when you love someone, you do not opt to make him yours, but you do everything that you can for him to be happy, to give him everything, even if you have to make sacrifices, to be deprived, and to offer him beautiful moments with every chance. Laugh when he laughs, share the happiness, support in every hardship, and make your company the best support, to never abandon him. Shield him with your body if you must, to cover every void in his soul, to stand next to him when everyone stands in opposition, so time and distance do not matter, as you are one another's star, and you know that each of you is there for every moment, and this is proved and earned every day. You forgive his mistakes. You reciprocate his goodness 1,000 times with better demeanor and natural behavior, and you build the foundations for the best impeccably beautiful moments that you want to last forever, taking your heart in heaven as mutual happiness is the perennial quest. We share it, we offer it, and hope that nothing ever ends between us, in any way. I feel everything and much more that cannot be described with words. Give me a chance to make you feel it as well.
He was close. He came to a stop.
My shell has grown again. She must not see me like this. She needs to see my true form.
He started striking himself. It felt as if heaven and earth started moving. He did not know if days or ages had passed. Every piece of his shell shattered and the pieces fell to the floor along with the chains of his soul. His roar along with his strength wreaked destruction on everything around him. The prison of his soul was buried, and he flew, knowing exactly where he was going and what he wanted. He arrived at the island. He flew over it. All he saw was death. The corpses were countless. They had all killed each other. He kept looking. He found where the nymphs lay dead. He went closer to look upon their corpses, and hers among them. He found her chest where the concealed compartment was now open, and he understood what had been taken. The divine possession that had provoked this chaotic maelstrom. The piece of his shell that he had given to her.
If everything went differently, would I have reached her in time before all of this happened? If I had given a piece of my shell to get an answer right away, if I did not waste time breaking it before I got here, if anything else, it does not matter what would have happened. What matters is what is happening right now.
He embraced her. He felt her skin, but not her life. He felt her touch, but not her soul. He looked into her eyes, but she had no gaze. He felt her chest, but not her heart. He felt vulnerable.
Everything that has ever happened, every action done by you was to keep me away from her.
He was overcome by an emotion that should never be felt to such a degree. Vehemence.
The world should have been a perfect place for you, according to the image and likeness of your idea of heaven. I could never express my feelings. I could not be with you. I could not do anything, and now I have lost you forever. My shell will grow back again. I will become even stronger than before. My obsession will become my strength, and I will exist only as a force of destruction. You were my panacea, but the right being in the wrong place makes all the difference in the world. I had every chance to get closer to you sooner, and I was more than late. I became greedy and impatient. I was always thinking about what was taken from me and not about what I was given. Such a pity. We could have had a sublime life together. Now it can never happen. There is nothing I can do but move on. You were my only weakness, the root in the tree of my life. But now I can take root everywhere. I have no weakness left, no fear, and nothing to lose. I do not live on borrowed time anymore. With you in my life, everything was in balance, but now there are no limits. Continence does not exist. Only I exist, above existent and non-existent laws. Only I! You made me act accordingly to how you treated me. What is given to you, you take it, but what you take from me, you don't give it back. I had so much love to give. None let me. I was led to the other side, indifference. With a resplendent emotional feast that can only lead to hate. In a metamorphosis from a benevolent being to a villain. What I have become is the natural way for all of you to be punished for your actions. Now I can avail myself of all my powers. I have been an angel and a demon. I have reached the nadir and the zenith. I am the combination of the supreme light and dark, but stronger than both together. I am the Varmint! You that have killed her, you will rue the life that was given to you. You have come from somewhere. I will find your kingdom, and I will devour it!